Another geometric property of circles we might take an interest in is its diameter. Now, a diameter of a circle is just a line segment that passes through the center of the circle and has its ends on the circle itself. And just like when we talk about a radius as a line segment, the radius is the length of that line segment, a diameter is a line segment, the diameter is the length of that line segment. And there are a couple of properties of a diameter that we're going to note that are going to be useful to us. The first of them is, look at the center on this line segment. This is a radius, so its length is r, whatever the radius is. This is also a radius. Its length is also r. So these two segments have the same length. The segment on each side of the center is a radius, and so the center itself must be at the midpoint of any diameter that we draw. The other observation we can make is about the length of the diameter. This diameter is two radii put together. So its length, the diameter of the circle, is twice the radius. In other words, the radius is half the diameter. If we know the radius, we can multiply it by 2 to find the diameter. If we know the diameter, we can divide it by 2 to find the radius. Those two facts put together give us a method to write down the equation of a circle given the endpoints of its diameter. Suppose we have 2 points, A and B, and we've given their coordinates here. The center is at the midpoint of the segment that connects them. The center is going to be at the midpoint of segment AB. So its x-coordinate, we add together the x-coordinates and divide by 2. Its x-coordinate will just be 1. Its y-coordinate, we add together the y-coordinates and divide by 2. So its y-coordinate is going to be at 3/2. So we found the center by taking the midpoint of the radius. So we found the center by taking the midpoint of the diameter. Now, the diameter of the circle, the distance across, is the length of segment AB. So it's the distance between those 2 points. It's going to be the square root of, let's see, change in the x's, -3 minus 5 squared, plus change in the y's, 1 minus 2 squared. Working out that arithmetic, that's the square root of 65. Okay, that's the diameter. How can we find the radius? Well, the radius is half of the diameter. So we could take that square root of 65 and divide it by 2. Better yet, the radius squared, well, that's the diameter over 2 squared. So that's the diameter squared over 4. Right? To get the radius, we divide the diameter by 2. To get the radius squared, we divide the diameter squared by 4. In this case, the diameter squared is 65. So the radius squared is going to be 65 over 4. And the reason we wanted to do that is that that's what appears in our equation. So we'll have x minus our h squared plus y minus our k squared equals our radius squared. And that's all we need to do. to find the equation of a circle given a diameter.